What up? What up? Shout out to everybody out there in YouTube world. This is the Nerve of You podcast. This your boy C Boogie Productions. Follow me on Instagram at C Boogie Productions. You know, we got the co-hosts that love to do the most. We got Rose in the building. And we're gonna chop it up about some things, man. We got a pretty good topic here tonight. Y'all see the thumbnail, man. The thumbnail says, what's worse for a woman? You know, we probably touch on men too, but we're gonna talk about women. What's worse for women? Having a high body count or going through one bad relationships or a couple bad relationships in a row? And the reason why I asked that is because, you know, we're trying to figure out what's more emotionally taxing on the woman. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to break it down in various different ways and look at many different angles on this topic because, you know, at the end of the day, everything counts. You did. Now, I'm going to start off with a question. We're just going to jump right into it today. You know, from a, you're laughing already. From a woman's point of view, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think, you know, from your observations of your life and your friends and stuff like that, what do you think is more emotionally taxing on women? A high body count or a bad relationship?
I would say a bad relationship. Bad relationships are way more emotionally taxing than a woman that has a high body count. But a woman that has a high body count, she has a higher chance, I think, of entering a bad relationship because her picker is pretty off because she's sleeping.
She's not up a little bit.
Her picker is pretty off because she's sleeping around, and not being as selective, so as she should be. So that plays a big part. Yeah.
So, okay, let's just go ahead and start and kick it off right there. Why aren't women more selective, particularly when they're young, with the guys that they sleep with? You know, is it an entertainment thing? You know what I mean? Do young women just want to be entertained? Is it a thing where they ignorant, don't know no better, they just want to test the waters? They just want to have their fun like young boys. Why is it a low self-esteem thing? Why aren't young women as selective when they're young about the guys that they allow to enter their body?
I think it's lack of sexual education. That's number one from their parents. They're learning more about sex in the school with their peers and with the boy that really wants to sleep with them. They're learning more about sex with their peers than their parents and adults, correctly teaching them how important sex is, why you shouldn't do it so young, and the downfalls of it. They're horny. Yeah, they're horny, and I think a lot of times, if they like someone, they feel like this will help me get the person that I like, and that's what makes it a self-esteem issue.
So you saying that? Because I just want to get this straight, ladies and gentlemen. So you saying that as a young woman, her mindset is, in order for me to keep this man or even get this man, I'm going to have to put out a little bit.
Right. Like who I am as a girl is not enough.
Indeed. Well, you know what I'm saying? I can dig it. My thing is this, right? You know, I understand young people gonna be young. They're gonna have fun. You know what I mean? I'm not stupid. Young people gonna do young people stuff. There are levels. You know what I mean? And this is one of my favorite terms because, you know, it's true in every aspect of life. there is levels to everything. You know what I mean? So all sleeping around is not the same, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Having a little sex in college, you know what I mean? Having a little bit of fun, even wilding out a little bit. But then you got some women that go to a darker place
Right.
where it's very, very hard for them to come out that place, man. And I think a lot of women do regret that because when they come out of there, they seen so much, right? They've been through so much. It's very hard for them to bond with a man. You see what I'm saying? It's just very, very hard for them to do that moving forward. It's very hard for them, for some of them to even trust men. It's very hard for them not to think that all men only want sex from them. And that's one of the biggest things that I kind of peep with women. Let me go ahead and break this down, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nerve of You podcast. It's your boy C Boogie Productions. We got the co-host that love to do the most. We got Rose in the building. And today, this evening, y'all, we talking about what's worse for a woman, to have a high body count or a woman that got into a bad relationship. All I need y'all to do is hit that like button on your way in. We are live. So my thing is back to what I was saying. You know, there are levels to everything, and it's like this, man. You know, as a man, I've came across a lot of women that they can have sex with a man, but they can no longer be intimate. You dig what I'm saying? They can do all kind of freaky wild things, but they can't be vulnerable with a man. You see what I'm saying? Because because they, had too many sexual experiences. So that is a major downfall for a woman because look, if a woman can't be vulnerable with a man, there's no point of her even being with him. I appreciate that $10 super chat DJ813. He say just here to show support 100. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw it back at him 1,000. I just like that word better. 1,000. So
Right. They can have sex, but they can't kiss.
yeah, I mean, like you got a bunch of stuff like that. Like you got some women, they won't get vulnerable or intimate with a man, but they'll sit there and hump his brains out. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, how is that even a good thing? You know what I mean? For a woman that one day may want to enter into a serious relationship, but she can't. She don't have the tools. She don't have the skill set anymore. That is a major issue. So we got that. And a lot of women start to think over time because they had so many sexual experiences or whatever that all men only want sex from them. And I've experienced this where I wanted more from a woman and she kept trying to throw the box at me. You see what I'm saying? And I took it as low key disrespect. Not that I wouldn't sleep with the girl, but I'm like, yo, like, well, slow down, young Thundercat. Like, let's get some things established here because I just inherently know as a man, for a lot of women, once you accept the sex, you put yourself at a deficit. This is real talk, and I try to tell a lot of guys on my channel, like, bruh, don't be so quick to get between a woman's pants because if a woman not gonna show you anything else of her feminine, qualities, if she not gonna show you that she loyal, she got your back, you know what I mean?
But you're a rare case.
All of these, hold on. I mean, maybe not. Because I know guys just like me. But I'm just saying, once you accept that from a woman, it's very, very hard to get the other stuff until you got the foundation solidified. Like, this is real talk. I've been in hotel rooms with women, and I ain't touch them. And it wasn't the fact that I didn't want to. It was the fact that, one, maybe the vibe was off, or two, I just knew it wasn't time yet. You see what I'm saying? Right. I think a lot of dudes take the sex way too early. And a lot of women, they want to control men through sex. You see what I'm saying? This is that control mechanism. So a lot of dudes just ain't really comprehending this. Like, dog, you got to fall back sometimes. And then another thing, you want to separate yourself from the pack as a man. So if I know a woman, her inbox is flooded, mad dudes is texting her, calling her, and all of them want the same thing, I'm gonna be the dude that's chilling. I'm in control. You know what I'm saying? At least, as much as I can be. I'm in control of the situation. I'm in control of myself. That's how I control the situation.
Right.
Can't control a woman, but I can control myself. So I'm already letting the woman know, look, I'm different, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Either you're going to respect it, either you're going to notice it, or you're not. But I got to stand on my business. You dig what I'm saying? So I think a lot of women don't understand that to some men, not all men, there's a very small percentile, throwing the box at them too early, right? Especially if he like you, and this is the major key. We can't forget it. The man got to like you for this to work. If he don't like you, then he's gonna get upset that you ain't give him the box. But if the man got plans for you, if the man likes you, if the man got any kind of respect for you, throwing the box at the man a little too early could be disrespectful. Especially if it's a dude with options and he don't really got a problem getting sex from other women. He like, look, let me take some time to explore your mind a little bit. Let me see what you're working with. I mean, this is the natural vetting process that we seem to skip as people these days or whatever. Sometimes you got to take some time to get to know people, but that's my thing. You know what I mean? Let me hear your opinion on that.
That's rare. What you just said is rare for a man to tell me, hold up, I want us to explore each other's minds. I want us to I want to experience you in other ways. Let's hold off on the sex.
Whoa, hold on. Let's DJ scratch the record. Hold on. Because the way you framed it was wrong. I said, as a man, we can't accept the sex too fast, or as a man, sometimes you got to take the sex off the table until she show you those other qualities. You see what I'm saying? It's not just saying that just as a blanket statement, like, well, let's hold up on the sex. Like, oh, I do want the sex as a man. I do want the box. But as a man, I know I got some work to do with this woman. So if I accept the sex, if I accept the box too early, I'm putting myself at a deficit. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying you're not going to pressure her at all about sex. You're not going to bring it up. You're not going to talk about it. You're just going to be chilling with her on a day, wherever you guys are going. And you guys are not going to put yourselves in a vulnerable position to have sex. Is that what you're saying? Until you get the qualities.
I mean,
until
other
you
things.
see the qualities.
Other things is acceptable. You know what I mean? I still give a good night kiss. We still, still be intimate. We still can touch and grab, and you know what I mean. But if I'm a man in control, I'm not worried about putting myself in a position because I walked out the house in control.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And not a lot of women will make the first move. So you're saying you as a man, you're not gonna just make the first move because your mindset is not even on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
I am saying that, but
I get you.
Some women are very aggressive. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of aggressive women out here, and they may not grab your pants off and try taking off your belt or whatever the case, but a lot of women, they'll throw off some strong sexual innuendos. Some women just tell you, like, look, like, what's up? Like, what we doing? You might go on a date. She's like, hey, you coming back to my spot? You know what I mean? Like, women to tell you, you know what I mean, in their own little way.
And you're saying that it's kind of a turn off or disrespectful when that happens?
It's a vibe thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if a woman hasn't showed me anything else in her repertoire as a woman, and then she trying to offer me the box, or if a woman think that as a man, I only want the box, you see what I'm saying? Like, she don't even take into account that I'm betting her for something long term, and she just trying to throw the box at me. That's disrespectful because I understand, like, look, whoa, I'm gonna be here for a while. Let me slow down a little bit. Let me get this established. Because, whether we want to admit it or not, in a lot of cases, sex complicates things, man.
It clouds our judgment.
It really complicates things, and you got to get a foundation established, a foundation of respect, you dig, a foundation of, what's clear and concise on how we going to move forward past the sex. You know, a foundation on, you know, are we gonna have sex with other people and still have sex with each other? You know what I mean? Just the fundamentals of a lot of different things, right? So it is disrespectful. Like, you know what I hate too, as a man, and this is just, I'm speaking for myself, ladies and gentlemen. I did nice things for women just based off of my respect I have for them. And I've had some women try to throw me the box as a reward, like I was some type of doja. And this is another thing that happens when women sleep with too many guys. They think every time you help them change a flat tire or whatever the case is you're doing, that, oh, you only doing it for sex. And I'm like, yo, don't ever disrespect me like that. Now that'll get you that'll get you that'll get your feelings hurt with a dude like me, because I'm like, yo, man, you know what I mean? Just the mere fact that you would think that lets me know how you think about me. See, it's a respect thing. You see what I'm saying? It's a respect thing. So for me, if a woman think every time I come out of my house and I do something nice for her, or I extend myself to be you know what I mean, just who I naturally am, you know what I mean, just a humble servant at times or whatever. I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, give me some, man. And shake my hand a little bit. But at the end of the day, this little humble servant, and she think that all I want to do is get in her pants. That's disrespect to a dude. You telling me a couple things. You telling me that's all I got on my mind as a man. Like, ain't nothing more profound, ain't nothing more deep to me. I got a little issue with that. Because, you know, I do consider myself, you know, one of the righteous. I might look like a goon, but I speak like a poet. You know what I'm saying? So,
You too.
So at the end of the day, I have a little issue with that, man. Like that really bothers me with a lot of women, man, because when they do that, they simply, it feels like they lumping you in a box with all the other dudes. I don't want to be in a box with no other nigga, period, man. I have a problem with that. And for all the dudes watching live or watching the playback, y'all should have an issue with that. Like, a lot of dudes think that just because they got the boxes, all dog. No. All sex ain't the same, homeboy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's levels.
What? It's been levels.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I never want to be in a box with another dude, man. Know what I'm saying? I want to blaze my own trail, right? And I want to do things on my terms, even the sex. The moment I accept the sex, the moment I accept the box from you as some type of reward, you giving that to me on your terms. Keep that. Keep that. I don't want that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I got to get that on my terms. Let me negotiate what I need to negotiate to get the box. Why? Because I know I'm all that, and I know I can do it. See, if I wasn't sure that I can work that, if I wasn't sure my mouthpiece was crispy, if I wasn't sure that I can be the man that I say I am, then I'ma just accept any kind of box you throw at me. Nah, can't have that. I want that on my terms. Period, man. You know what I'm saying? And I break this mic. Yo, man, for real, because it really upsets me when dudes be talking about stuff like that, and I'm like, dog, you're a lame. That's why you move the way you move, because you're a lame. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, my bad, I'm hogging up the mic. What you got to say, man? Because I could really go in.
I want to know what's worse in your in your eyes. What's worse, high body count or bad relationships? Let's say a woman with a body count, let's say 30 or
24,
30, or a bad or five or five bad, terrible, bad relationships. I'm talking cheating. I'm talking abuse. I'm talking STD. You know, all of the above.
Okay.
And she's under 30.
Oh wow, you put the asterisk on it.
And she's beautiful. Let's say.
I would say, real talk, if she's under 30, I would say a bad relationship emotionally can, boy, can really destroy a woman, man. Real talk. A bad relationship will really hurt a woman. And I say that because of, this is just going off of my experiences, right? You know what I'm saying? A real bad relationship is very, very detrimental to a woman's self-esteem, because when a woman, right, is sleeping with, different dudes or having fun or whatever, at that time a woman is feeling herself. I'm not saying she's not going to regret it later in life, which some women do, but I'm saying at that time, what I mean, she got dudes doing what she want them to do, got dudes breaking bread, spending money, time, all this stuff. Some dudes even cheating on their wives or whatever. So a woman is feeling herself at that time. But a bad relationship, that mean a woman, she ain't just give up her body. I just gave you mad reasons that, a woman can give up the box to a man and it means nothing. A woman can give sex to a man just for a reward and wake up the next day like ain't nothing happened. She won't even count it on her official body count. You see what I'm saying? As we talked about on the show before, but when it comes to a woman, being vulnerable and giving up herself in all facets, not just, sexually, I'm talking about spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, you know what I'm saying? And her body, all of these things together, and that man does the woman dirty and, will cheat on her or leave her for another woman or something, that can send a woman down the wrong path, man. You know what I mean? And I've seen it a lot of different times. So my direct answer is the relationship, man. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, I got a little issue with that because a lot of women, they get themselves into a lot of trouble with the wrong guy. You know what I'm saying? And they give the wrong, I don't know why women do this, it's crazy. A lot of women give everything to the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong when you want to give something, but they give everything to the wrong person, which they later on regret. And what tends to happen for the woman is the woman going to come across a guy that really got her best interest, man. You see what I'm saying? It seems like it's always happening to women. And they got nothing left for that dude. Yeah. Nothing left emotionally. They don't have nothing else left in the tank. They don't trust men no more. They finally got vulnerable for a man. Then boom, he broke her. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that's my thing. And we ain't got to get into all the different variables or whatever, because different variables can sway my decision a different way. But on its face, just the question as you asked me, on its face, I would say a bad relationship or a series of bad relationships.
Yeah. There are a lot of women that are sleeping with men just to get the commitment of being a girlfriend. So there's so many.
Nowadays that's almost like a prerequisite though.
Yeah, that's like
a lot of dudes
standard.
want test drive the
Yeah,
Hyundai.
Yeah, but a lot of women, one of the main reasons why women are sleeping with certain guys is because she fears that he's gonna pick another woman, and because the other woman is gonna sleep with him, and that's not even a good mentality to sleep with a man earlier than you wanted to, personally, in your heart of hearts, because if you're not sleeping with him, why should you care who is sleeping with him? That was, that's my mentality. I don't care if who you sleeping with if I'm not sleeping with you. So, but if you really, really like the guy, you're going to care about who he's sleeping with. And that's going to really determine if you sleep with him sooner than you in your heart of hearts want to. So we got to really check ourselves on, why are we really sleeping? Is he really pressuring us, or do I really truly want to do it? Like, if you really truly want to do it, then do it. But don't do it because you fear that he's going to do it with another woman and you're never going to get the commitment you want as a girlfriend, not even as a wife or a fiance. So if you're thinking like that, you're kind of behind the 8 ball.
But matter of fact, shout out to Ron Wills. Ron Wills in the building. But I understand what you're saying, but what if the woman's goal is not to become his wife or his fiance? Then it's free game at that point if she wants sex. Now, I'm speaking as if the commitment is the goal. But if that's not the goal for the woman, then yeah, she can do what she want. You know what I'm saying? So
That's always the goal. When I'm talking, when
I
hold
disagree.
on, when I'm talking about a woman that's dealing with a man she really likes, I'm not talking about no trick hoe thing. I'm not talking about no, um, uh, she's buying time. She just wants attention. I'm talking about when it comes to a guy that she really likes. That's always the goal.
Okay, well, I'm glad you added a good variable on that. But yeah, but like I say though, Rose, a bad relationship. I think a bad relationship will really break a woman opposed to her sleeping around. Both of them.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, both of them is pretty bad. You know what I mean? Because like even with the body count thing, I'm saying a high body count, it is levels to that because you know what I mean. If we talking about a 35 or maybe a 40-year-old woman, obviously she's no virgin, man. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, they are getting it in. You know what I'm saying? So again, all of these experiences may not have been bad. Matter of fact, the woman could have had the time of her life with all these guys, ended it amicably on good terms or whatever. No stalkers, no STDs, no abortions. If a woman can make it out that clean, then clearly it's not too much to regret. Now, she may not ever tell a man her true body count number or whatever, but regardless of that, it's not a lot of emotional carnage that come with that. But again, one bad relationship for that bad. I mean, one bad. I was say bad woman. One bad relationship for that same woman can break her. That's what I'm saying. It takes one.
The only benefit I think that comes from having a high body count, I heard, is, I heard is that you can emotionally detach from a bad relationship or a guy. Like hoes know how to detach emotionally. They could stop having sex with a guy if something happens or they get upset or something, and he'll look more and more like a stranger. That's the thing. But a woman that has a lower body count, their ability to detach themselves sexually and emotionally from whoever she's dealing with, even if he's bad for her, she has a problem doing that because she's thinking like her body's bonded to him. Her mind is body. Like a woman that has, like, let's say less than 5 bodies, she is more likely to be in a long-term relationship. I'm talking like 5-10 years without being married. She's more susceptible to that, to me, than a woman that has a higher body count, because she can, one thing goes wrong, I mean, she could be gone. She could talk to your friends. She could do something, whatever. She'll be emotionally detached faster. So I think that's something to consider.
Something to consider, huh?
Yeah, that's something to consider.
Hmm.
That's
what you heard, though, right?
That's what I heard.
That's
A
what you
woman
heard.
that has a higher body count, she's detaching more like a man. Kind of like how men don't really love easily, and
No,
women.
no, it's a lot of truth in that too. Like, but that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the podcast. What I was saying, that a lot of women that had sex with a lot of men, I've noticed that some women that went too deep, they can't get intimate, man. Like, this is real talk. Like, they don't know how to be vulnerable no more. You know what I'm saying? All they know how to do is hump a man's brains out, but anything more than that, they got a little issue with that. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of women walking around like that. I ain't got the statistics, don't even really care to know, but I know there's a significant amount of women that at the end of the day, they cannot bond or get intimate with a man. It would take, honestly, a lot of work from the right man to open her back up. And that work is going to be constant, right? It's not a one-time thing. That man will have to, it wouldn't even be worth it because he got to wake up every day and work on her and work on her. You see what I'm saying? Because she went too far off the deep end.
A lot of women gave up on love.
No doubt.
Like I was.
But let me let me touch on that. Now, go ahead.
I heard this last thing. I heard a woman
Well, you've
say,
been hearing a lot.
look, I heard a woman say, I choose partnership than love. Like love. People that love get you killed. It gets you like bad things happen from.
Well,
that.
let me speak on that, and let me get back to my point. A lot of people, right, are very fearful of love because honestly, love is not logical, right? Um, it's just not a logical thing, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say you shouldn't halfway even fall into love. You should fall deep into it as you can. That's the only way love truly operates. So, there's a lot of different scriptures, and it's a lot of different passages on love, but a lot of people are very fearful of it because if it don't work, it will hurt you. Period, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different conversation for a different day on why people even get hurt after dealing with love because they didn't do it properly. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to attach yourself to anybody. You're just supposed to love them. But that's a different story. But what I'm saying is a lot of people, you know what I mean, particularly people as they get older, they do develop that companionship, partner type of situation. They don't want to get too complicated because they understand, these things can go left. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to maybe like a young, naive person or whatever. I totally understand. But again, I always go back to Rummy. Rummy said love is all around us. We just got to find what's blocking us from getting to it. And it's a lot of truth in that as well. So I was about to say something before you what was I about to say?
I said love and partnerships.
Damn. I had a point that I was going to make to something that you said.
About the detaching, women detaching themselves if they are more slutty.
More slutty. Damn, man, I totally forgot what I was finna say. Maybe it'll come back to me. It was good too, man.
Damn.
It's all good.
It'll come back.
That's what happens when you cut me off. Anyway,
Sorry.
But yeah, like moving on from that, I think that for a lot of women, right? Really, women and men, but for a lot of women, a lot of women have to be careful on how they moving because, like we live for the day, right? A lot of us live for the weekend or whatever. We're not thinking about consequences, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, or whatever the case is. Things that we may regret, people that we may regret giving ourselves to, because every time you get intimate with somebody take a piece of you with them, or they could leave a piece of themselves with you. You know what I mean? And sex is deeply spiritual. And I know we don't really talk about it because it's not the thing to do. It's not the alpha male thing to do, with a lot of conversations online. But sex can go deeply spiritual. Yo, I got a story I want to tell real quick. This is a true story. I never told this story out loud. I got an exclusive for y'all. Story time with the boogeyman. I got an exclusive, man. I remember one day, this was a long time ago, man. This was a young boogeyman. And I just got finished sleeping with my ex. And I don't know what came over me, man. No cap. I caught the Holy Ghost. This is the only time. Like, you ever see people in church jumping around? Dun, dun, dun. Mm-hmm. That was me. And this is a true story. And I was just bugging out in the bedroom. And I was just like, I ain't worthy. This is the funniest shit ever. Excuse me. This is the funniest shit ever. And she was kind of looking at me like, yo, this dude is crazy. And but one thing I always appreciated, like, she never brought that time up again. Like, and I wasn't drinking, I was sober. It wasn't like I had an out of body experience. No, this was some crazy spiritual shit.
Damn.
Like, I really caught the Holy Ghost, man, right after we got finished having sex, man. And I was like, yo, this is ill. Real talk. Like, this is ill, man. But anyway, moving on, man.
That's funny.
No, real talk. I just wanted to touch on that for 1 second.
You know, I do believe that when we sleep around or when we sleep with somebody, our bodies, I think it's supposed to be, even if our minds and our in our language, I feel like I'm telling you I'm going to be with you. But our bodies is saying is making a promise to each other that we're going to be together when we have sex. So like even if we don't say it, when we have sex, our bodies are saying it. And when you leave that person, you kind of broke that promise. And I think that's where the tax comes from.
Is that something you just made up?
No, I honestly kind of feel that way, because it's like when the act of sex is you bonding.
If it's done right, if it's done properly. How many, okay, that's like saying how many guys, I'm talking on a personal level, how many guys have you, not like the number.
Come on now.
Not,
Not on camera.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. No, not that.
Like, I'll tell you, right?
Yo, you hilarious. No, not that. I was about to say, how many guys have you slept with?
Come on.
That you can really remember. I'm not asking you to say it. This is question that you ain't got to answer. But I'm talking about, you ain't got to give your numbers. But I'm just saying, how many guys have you been with, and y'all slept together, or whatever, that sex has reached that deep spiritual point where you even felt that? You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
you know what? Yeah, I
number,
gotta give it to you. I gotta
you know
give
what I
it
mean?
to you.
No,
Right.
but I had to clean that up. So that's very, very rare, man.
You're right. You're
I mean,
right.
like
It's a very small number. Very small number.
Most of the experience probably just been the act of sex.
That is true.
But you ain't dip into that spiritual world. You see what I'm saying?
That is true.
Like, as far as the bonding and all of that stuff that you're talking about.
You know what? But it would have meant more. It meant more, but it would have meant extremely more if the amount of people that I slept with was less. You see what I mean? If I had a spiritual moment with a few, right? If you had overall a lower body count, then that experience will mean extremely more. You see what I mean?
So you saying
that spiritual.
So you saying because you've been with so many people.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Yo, you are trying to trap me.
Oh,
Yo, so
I had to do it. Oh, okay. Let me get back to the live stream. All right, okay. Let me tighten up real quick.
Hell no.
I find you. So
You gonna do that to me? Anyway.
But I get what you're saying, right? Okay. It would have meant more, if you would have had a spiritual experience with maybe one or two people, opposed to just having sex with maybe 10. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying if I had sex with 5 people versus 10, that spiritual feeling would have been greater.
Because you have less experiences?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Because I valued it more. When you have sex with 5 people versus 10 people, the person that had sex with only 5 people value it more than the person that had sex with 10 people. And then looks has a major part in the thing too. Because I don't even want to go there. It's cool. No.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So we get these spiritual connections in sex that do happen. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna act like that don't happen, but it's things that gotta be in place to even have that. For one, two people gotta have a true love for one another and a true respect, and they truly gotta care about each other. But even beyond that, those two people gotta come into the situation already with at least a solid foundation spiritually. You know what I mean? They grounded in something, and you know what I mean? The women got the man's best interest, vice versa. He got her best interest. You know, there's a level of security there. Like, even if it's just temporarily, the women know I'm safe with him. Like, I can exhale with him. You know what I mean? I can be vulnerable. None of this is going to happen if two people don't get vulnerable. And how many people are having sex these days and the man nor the woman are even getting vulnerable with one another because they too busy humping? They haven't established the fundamentals of the relationship or whatever situation that they got for the sex to even be worthwhile on having. You see what I'm saying? So there's some things that have to be in place for this to happen. Now, as a woman, hold tight. If you sleeping, we should say that in the military. Hold tight.
I will.
If
I am.
funny,
You know.
funny, you nice. So yeah, there's a lot of I totally misplaced my train of thought. What was I saying?
The spiritual level.
Oh yeah, there's some things that got to be in place by both people. A lot of people aren't even being vulnerable. They just jump into the act of sex, and you know that's fine and dandy and all, but at the end of the day, for people to really reach that spiritual, sexual place of just nirvana, you know what I mean? Sometimes where you just let go, you got to be vulnerable. And thanks for that $10 super chat again, DJ813. He says, what would y'all suggest to a man who is dealing with a woman who has a bad relationship past? You want to take that or you want me to get it?
He said what? Oh, what would you suggest a man who's dealing with a woman who has a bad relationship past? Ooh, you're going to have to take it slow. I think you guys are going to have to, you are going to have to take the lead in doing things slow. Like whatever time you're spending, make sure it's very, very high quality time. Like spend a lot of time talking to her, spending time. You don't have to always spend money, but really explore her mind, have her explore yours. Let her come clean and tell you the truth about who she is. Like, and you have to be open to not being judgmental and accepting of the truth. And that's what I would say.
Indeed.
And don't pressure her with sex.
So it's all about her. My thing is this. No, you don't even answer that. My thing is this. You know, for the super chat question. Honestly, man, you got to come to terms with yourself on that. If you know those women got a bad relationship past, and obviously there's no way that some of that energy not going to seep into your relationship, I would say get out of it if you ain't serious about the girl, because obviously you gonna have to be very careful with this woman because of things she's been through. And if you like her enough, I can see that you're gonna be careful and you know you'll do things right. But other than that, man, you got to be real with yourself. Do I want to go through the rigorous process of dealing with this woman every day? Because I don't know what's going to trigger her, period.
And you better figure out if the juice is worth the squeeze. If the juice ain't worth the squeeze, I wouldn't deal with her.
I mean, typically when I say period, I'm moving on.
Oh, okay, my bad.
To another topic.
Okay. Well, I want to add outside of that to move on to the next topic. Remember when you asked me about the body count? I think
yours. Go ahead.
I think when it comes to women in the beginning, early stages of us having sex, I think it's almost like a credit card. You know, when you first get a credit card, and you got about 5,000 on it as a young person, you going in, with the credit card. You maxing it out, and then when you got to pay it back and you realize, oh, I should have never did that, or slept with this person, or you start realizing, damn, I got to really pay this money back. And it'll take years for you to unpack that. And you're going to look back at your mistakes. So like you said, we make all our mistakes as a young person because of lack of information. And then in our 30s, right, we're trying to find somebody who would accept it. Who's going to accept your credit card debt? You're like, hey, look at my debt. I gotta find somebody where I can match their debt, and let's pay it off together.
Well, every time you go through something in life, you change the trajectory, based on what happened to your heart. And I don't want to get too deep on it, man, but a lot of people don't understand, man. A lot of times your heart leads you and your mind follows, man. And, basically what I'm saying is, if you took a real big pounding, I'm talking about your heart. I'm talking about your heart. But if your heart took a real big pounding out here, dealing with many different people and things of that nature, then, maybe who you needed before as a companion is going to be totally different moving forward, because now you got a different set of needs than you had before you took that pounding. Your heart, that is. You see what I'm saying? So, we always got to keep that in mind. Like in the military, we called it, your shot group when you go to the range, right? Everybody got a shot group. And, so you go to the range and you might start out shooting on the targets. Let's say you want a paper target. Your shot group might be all over the paper target. Mm-hmm. And over time, you got to tighten up your shot group. You got to tighten up your shot group. You got to tighten up your shot group. And that's what happens. Right. That too. And like, that's what happens in dating as well. Your shot group tightens up every time you go through something in life.
Bless you.
Man, I sneeze. So yeah, that's just what it is, man. Allergy season is amongst us, people. But let's move on. So, as a woman, do you think that a bad relationship is worse than having a high body count for a woman? What you think?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think a bad relationship is more detrimental.
I mean, have you experienced both?
Come on, man.
I'm just
look.
I'm asking you, like, are you giving me real life experience or observations?
I have a moderate body count, and moderate based on my looks.
All right, let's get to the damn topic.
Okay. So and bad relationship. Okay. Bad relationship. I mean, I had a few bad relationships.
So what you think worse?
One major one. It's definitely a bad relationship. It trumped, because that's all I remembered fully. That you remember how you felt. You don't really kind of remember like a fling as much as you remember how you felt. Just like, some women don't count if she just did it once with a guy. She'll remember giving a guy more sexual access. It hurts more when you give a guy more sex, unprotected, nastier. There's levels. So it's like.
But a lot of y'all give that to men that y'all not married to.
You're right, and that's why women need to have sexual boundaries. That's a thing that's not taught as much as it should be. Sexual boundaries is so important because it's directly related to how we think about ourselves, especially if we're not getting what we want and a person is asking for an undeserving request. And a lot of times we would give that without getting what we want.
But that's why I said too. I said that a bad relationship is more detrimental for a woman, because once a woman has did all that for a dude and it amounted to nothing, like
Right.
we talking about absolute like nothing. Dog, that shit, what I seen with a lot of women, that turns a lot of women into savages, man. So there are a lot of women out here that be like, yo, they started out traditional, da 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 da. I want the family, the white picket fence, and all that. They go through a bad relationship, or maybe two in a row. They like, you know what? F that. I'm making my own money. I ain't depending on no more men. They go straight savage, and you know, it's because they gave so much. And I'm not against it. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with giving much, but give it to the right person. You see what I'm saying? And when we do our Googles and our investigations on these situations, you know what I mean? We find out that, oh, you know, the writing was on the wall. Like, the dude basically walked up to you like, you know what? I just may mess up your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't say it, but his lifestyle, everything he was about, set it for him. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I've met a lot of women that fit this criteria, and they gave so much to the wrong guy that the right guy will have to suffer. Now, this is why a lot of dudes, and I may do a podcast on this at a later date, they always talking about, you know, nice guys finish last. That's one of the biggest conversations online amongst men, and they do have a point. They have a point because, now here's where I blame the men. A lot of men not articulating themselves properly. A lot of men really mean this right here, Rose. A lot of men want to say this right here. I've watched women over a span of time ignore guys that really would have treated them good, would have had their best interests, you know, would have protected them, provided all of this, and chase the wrong dudes, try to get the wrong dudes to be the right dudes, and go through everything in the realm of that. And I watch these women go up and come down. I watch these women go up and come down, go up and come down, go up and come down. And then when it's all said and done, they you know, they looking for a guy with good character. A lot of dudes just don't articulate it. They just end up lashing out online. Like, up these women, da da da. But they not really fully explaining it. You know, if you want to give a translation, a lot of dudes are saying, look, you know, y'all wanted these guys with bad character. Y'all wanted these guys to be what y'all wanted them to be. Period. And that ain't the way life works. A person is who they is. You see what I'm saying? We out here wasting so much time, right? As men and women, trying to get the people that we want to be what we need. And vice versa sometimes. Trying to get the person that we need become the person that we want. You see what I'm saying? And this is really self-serving type of situations, but it is like that. A lot of women, men too, I cannot exclude you Negroes. A lot of men and women are spending an extraordinary amount of time trying to get the man or the woman that they want, right? Have the qualities that they need so they can get like this bundle package deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? That really, honestly, rarely exists. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna meet the perfect person that's gonna meet all your needs. Bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
That's gonna meet every single one of your needs. You see what I'm saying? That's just not the case. But if you can get most of them met, you in a good situation. That's my thing, man. So a lot of us get ourselves in these crazy places, and we don't know that we kind of bring in the disappointments and the heartaches and the headaches on ourselves by even having this mindset. You see what I'm saying? Like, for a woman, right? Because all women think they got the golden box. All women think they got the golden vagina. They think that they can tame a man, change a man. A lot of women think that whatever it is they got, they're going to get this dude that's a full-blown player. Or he just a dude that in his heart, he never want to settle down. A lot of women think that they the one. And this man has shown a track record, man. A track record of not settling down. But that woman thinks she gonna be the one. And by the time she's done trying to change that man, she is finished emotionally. You know what I mean? Physically, psychologically, all these different things, she is super finished. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, we bring a lot of this stuff on ourselves, man.
That's true.
You dig? Like we really, really do. And then as we get older, we get out here and start talking crap, right? And we want people to accept our emotional baggage that we brought into our life. And it don't work like that. You dig? Real talk. It don't work like that.
That's true.
We can't do that to other people. Like, I can't go to a woman and say, hey, I got myself into all these crazy situations in my life. You got to accept me or check me. No, I got to do the work to change myself first. You dig? And that's just how it is.
You know, another thing, there's a lot of men that are not Pookies and Ray Rays that are like the Will Smiths of the world, right? The clean cut guys that do the same thing as the savages. And that is a very dangerous man because he represents, he looks like a nice guy, but he doesn't have a record of commitment. The nice guy, some nice guys, they don't have a record of commitment because a lot of these black men have not been married before. So you're going off as a woman, you're going off of how a man looks, how he treats you, his status. There's just,
I don't see why a lot of people, I don't even see why a lot of y'all put a lot of energy into that Pookie and Ray Ray conversation. To me, I never really got into it like that because I understand that that's a scapegoat. You know, in Black America in particular, white America do this too with quote unquote, trash of their culture or whatever. I wouldn't call it that, but that's what they call it, right? So for a lot of us, man, the Pookie and Ray Ray thing is a scapegoat for a lot of people. And as long as they can do that, a lot of black men don't have to take responsibilities over their actions or even their communities. They can blame it on one small group of guys. I'm like, most people in the hood get up and go to work every day. There's a small percentage of people that's doing everything, right? So what I'm saying is I don't even know why y'all got into that conversation so hard body. I understand what you're saying. It's pieces of crap in every different class. It's pieces of crap that are clean cut, that are professional. You see what I'm saying?
These nice guys, I mean, I'm not even gonna say nice guys. A man that is a eligible bachelor, I'm gonna just say that. That's everything that a woman would like. He can do the same thing, like you said. So
Well,
I mean,
yeah, that's a fact.
He could turn a woman into a baby mother and not marry her. He could cheat on her and be with another woman, or just be like, look, thanks for the vagina, but it's not working out.
Indeed. Thanks for that $20 cash app, Rel. He said those bad relationship experiences leave a negative taste time invested, shaping a woman's outlook on men after poor choices and past men. No doubt. I think that it's a lot to be said about that too. You know what I mean? Goes back to my comment about nice guys finishing last. And I think if a lot of women, because we obviously live life backwards, you know what I mean? I'd like to really say that, but we do. I honestly believe if a lot of women can foresee their future, no pun intended, foresee future, that wasn't. Anyway, I thought it was good. If a lot of women can really see their future, if they had any type of foresight, honestly, they would make better decisions, man. Because here's the biggest thing about it all, yo. The brunt of bad relationships or sexual decisions are going to be on women. Why? Because women, for one, women got to carry these kids that are conceived. They got to have the kids. They got to raise the kids for the most part. Women, it's their bodies. Excuse me, it's their bodies that go through this. Like a woman can pass away during childbirth. Women are they take a big like emotional toll. You know what I'm saying? Because they gave so much. You know what I mean? Et cetera, man. For a lot of women, I always say like, yeah, they got to be a lot more careful. Like, I know a lot of women want to live like men and stuff like that, but
doomed.
it's not for a woman. It's men going inside of a woman. You know what I mean? To me, that alone should keep a lot of women in check. Like, somebody's going inside you. Like, I don't even like to get vaccinations like that. I don't mind getting them. I will. Probably shouldn't have said the V word lately, but I don't mind getting them because I know they're necessary. But because they injecting something in me. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. I always think like that, but I don't think a lot of women truly care. I think it comes down to that. But you know, it's one thing if somebody you love or care about or you with, even if it's just temporary, is doing it. But to have randoms, to have dudes you just met going inside of you, to me, that should keep a lot of women in check, but it really doesn't. So
You know why?
I don't think they care, but take a shot at it.
I do think a lot of times women are letting the men that they're sexually attracted to do it. They get a lot of leeway. That goes out the window if it's a man that you're sexually attracted to and you really want him. At that point, you want him inside. You're not looking at it. That's like saying a very, very beautiful woman, you know.
I track some of y'all track record. All these niggas ain't pretty.
Okay.
Right or wrong?
Not all, but
Right or wrong? So
No.
you gonna sit here and tell me y'all only letting pretty niggas come inside y'all?
I'm not saying that.
Okay,
I'm saying
well,
that they're attracted to a man that they're attracted to.
Well, I would assume most of the guys women sleep with, they like them. I would assume in some form or fashion.
Okay.
So
that's the answer
did that
to
make it
your
right?
question. That's the answer to your
What
question.
are you talking about, man?
I answered your question. You said I don't know how you would let somebody inside you. That's how you let somebody inside you.
So simply because I like a woman, I can let her move into my spot because I like her. I'm attracted to her. Pack up your bags. I just met you last week. Come move in, and you can share my bed. And I barely know your middle name.
That's not. No, to be short, no. If you want something out of her, you'll be more likely to do something like that versus a person that you don't know at all or don't like at all. I'm just saying.
I like a lot of women that I don't sleep with. I'm attracted to a lot of women
Okay.
that I don't
All
sleep
right.
with.
I'm just saying. Do you understand how many
I mean,
men
I'm basing it off of your
like-
last statement, man.
do you know how many men? It's very hard for a woman to even get to that point of liking a man versus the men that want to sleep with her and the men that she actually likes. That is a very, very big, like, different ratio. I probably like one guy in 1 year, but the amount of men that want to sleep with me or like me is a lot more.
So you telling me you only slept with one guy in a year? Like, you do one guy a year?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in a world
So
of a
if you
woman,
ever slept with multiple people in a year, that means you liked more
multiple people. I'm just saying the ratio between who wants me, who wants to sleep with me, who likes me versus the
Well, you're
people I
contradicting
like.
yourself.
What you mean?
I mean, like you just said, I probably like one guy in a year. But let's say 1 year, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you slept with 4 guys. That means you liked 4 guys that year, right?
I don't get it.
Oh no, you don't get it. No comprende?
No comprende. Now, if one of those guys that I like and we happen to be in a relationship, then I could bypass those four, the other three. One guy in a year cat. Man, I mean, I'm just saying that this is all hypothetical. I'm just saying this is all hypothetical.
But you know, on the Nerve of You podcast, we keep it a brick.
What I'm saying, I'm just letting you know the magnitude of the difference between a woman and who she likes, because that is so.
I understand
rare.
the example, like
I'm
women.
rare for a woman
Yo,
to come
I've had a
across
woman
that she
tell.
likes.
I understand what you're saying, but you gave a bad example. I had a woman tell me this. I had several women tell me this. They were like, I don't even like most guys. Like, real talk.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, you didn't say that. You gave an example that I had to really help you clean up a little bit.
Okay. I'm saying exactly what she said.
Okay, I understand this. I mean, this is real talk. Like, it's always going to be like that. Women are the preferred sex. You know what I'm saying? If a woman come across 40 men in one day, no. Let's say 12 men try to talk to one woman in one day, trying to holler at her, whether it be online or in person or both. A woman may like one, maybe two of those guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand. I mean, that's just the numbers of it. I get that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's move on. You're a trip, man. I mean, you really cutting up today. So boom, right? That was always my rationale. That I'm like, nah, man. A lot of women, they don't even really care. Like, a man has to enter a woman. So to me, a lot of women got to be careful. Do you know how many women out here is letting dudes raw dog them and do all type of stuff? It's like, yo, it's just levels to this. And, you know, a lot of women end up regretting it later. But it's like, where was your mind at knowing that, yo, man, that's your body? Not to say that when men do it is better, but just think about my logic of it. Somebody has to enter you. You see what I'm saying? To me, that should deter a lot of women from doing stupid, silly stuff anyway. But a lot of women, they got a mindset that if a man can do it, I can do it. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of women truly don't understand that they carry that energy of a lot of men on them anyway, man. You know what I mean? Because a lot of women be having a lot of different personalities and stuff like that, man. And that really showed me, you know, a lot of men had influences on her mind. You dig? That's a sure enough sign. Fellas, y'all need to be listening to C Boogie Productions. I know what I'm talking about. I've been on this concrete in these streets for a long time. When a woman, you know what I mean, shows a lot of different characteristics of personalities and things of that nature, you know what I mean, that is a shown up sign. Too many men has had that influence on her mind. But if a woman is, you know, as balanced as she can be, you know what I mean, if she's one person through it all, you know, if you can really recognize that that woman is being her, that means, you know, a lot of men haven't had a chance to infiltrate her mind and turn her into something that she's truly not. A lot of men, you know, we spend a lot of time dealing with women and their personality issues and their baggage and stuff like that, trying to reconnect the woman back with ourselves, because a lot of women do get lost in the sauce. And then sometimes you got to take time to really bring this woman back to womanhood. And this is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just almost like a woman being up under a man's tutelage. And a lot of people think that that's extreme, but a lot of women have fell for the okie doke out here too. And as I got older, I lost a lot of patience dealing with a lot of women like that, because a lot of them are lost causes, man. You know what I mean? And then now we living in an era, you got lame dudes is arrogant. Right. I mean, let's be 100. Like, you got ugly dudes is arrogant out here, man.
Right.
Like, that was a time.
Yeah, they give them too much.
That was a time where ugly niggas was mad humble to even sniff a woman's drawers. You got ugly niggas is arrogant. So this is when you know the game is dead. You know, well, the game will never be dead, but it's done. It's on its last legs. Like, is slowly gasping for air because you got lame dudes on the concrete, man, and they out here trying to be players, man. And this bothers me. You got dudes that been and look, when I call a dude a lame, it's because the nigga act like a lame. We ain't talking about no Russell Wilson situation where no, we talking about dudes that's displayed lame behavior their whole life. We gotta call it out. You got a lot of dudes that, for one, they can't stand women. Let's just put it out there. It's a lot of dudes that ain't real players. They don't like women, but they want to get sex from women and degrade them at the same time. That ain't player stuff. That's lame stuff. Why? Because hurt people hurt people. All you doing is expressing out loud how hurt you is and um how you not in sync with women. All you doing is expressing yourself like that and telling the world, like, look, I ain't got no chemistry with women. Women ain't feeling me. So next time I get a woman alone, she give me some, I'm a degrader. I'm gonna make her look stupid. You dig? I don't like that. Ain't player stuff. Players make women feel good. Period. You know what I'm saying? At least that's how it was when I was coming up. I don't know what this crap is out here in these streets today. They putting all kind of stepped on work out here, and women is falling for it. That's why a lot of these young girls are finished. So we hold on. So we got that aspect of things. You got a lot of dudes that got no business in the streets. And when I say the streets, I just mean out their circumference of what's comfortable for them. You got a lot of dudes out here doing stuff they got no business doing, and it's bothering them because they really at war with themselves. They're not even at war with women. It's not even the women. It's really them, because a lot of dudes get a bag. They get a little status. And they inherently understand if it wasn't for this money, I would be SOL as far as women go, as far as decent women go. So they out here angry, sleeping with women. I was about to say another word. They out here mad while they pounding on women deep down inside. They want a woman to feel like them. So a lot of dudes, they'll get a decent woman that may like them, but because they so angry, they'll just go ahead and mash on her for no reason.
They're angry and empty.
Angry and empty. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of dudes be on that, man. You know what I mean? Because they had a little heartbreak when they was young, or they ain't really getting no attention from the pretty girls in school or whatever the case. I'm like, dog, and they messing up the game. So, you know, I was bumping into mad chicks that was just jacked up in the mind. I'm like, yo, what happened? But I realized a lot of these women, they was out here dealing with, I don't know, man, just dealing with the wrong dudes.
You know, I just wish men did a better job dealing with women that they could actually see them in a commitment with, themselves in a commitment with. This will lower the high body count rate, the high
So you put it on the men?
You guys are the leaders, right?
I mean, yeah, I could be a leader, but
This is so that a woman can differentiate. Am I the fun girl, or am I the serious woman?
but how can you
in
put
your mind?
but how can you put that all on the men when at the end of the day women choose who enters their body? You can't put that all on the men. Y'all choose. Women are the preferred. Women choose what men are in their orbit and not in their orbit. And to take it a step further, it's like this. A lot of here's how I see it. And some people may agree or disagree. It's all good. Here's how I see a lot of stuff, right? When a woman has been taken down through there by a guy, right? Truth be told, it's hard for me to blame the man. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the man did what he was supposed to do. He took advantage of something that was to be taken advantage of. He took advantage of the weak.
So nice guys don't do that.
I'm saying anybody. I didn't put a label on it. I'm just saying dudes in general. You know what I'm saying? Dudes in general. I didn't put a label on it. I said men. I said it's hard for me to blame the guys. I didn't label it. But at the end of the day, a lot of women, for whatever reason, could have been self-esteem, it could have been low sense of value, could have just been whatever, daddy issues, whatever. The way I look at it, I'm like, look, people only pick on weak people. I mean, I know we don't want to deal with the fundamental laws of life, but it's real talk. People only pick on weak people. People only get away with certain stuff with people that allow them to do it. So if a woman is complaining about bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship, she got to ask herself, what is it about me that these men feel that they can talk to me, do anything, cheat on me in my face, sleep with my coworkers, whatever. I done heard all kind of stories, you know what I mean, from women, put their hands on me, whatever. Why do men constantly do this to me? A woman got to be real with herself. Before you can address a man, you got to be honest with yourself. And at the end of the day, the man did, not that I condone it, but he did what he was supposed to do. You was there to be exploited. And he did what he was supposed to do. Now, you could take it as a lesson in life, patch yourself up, get your mind right, get back on that horse, and live the best life you can, or you can allow it to happen over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. I know we don't want to. It's like a it's like a check cashing spot in the hood, right?
Right.
Why do you think they put these check cashing spots in the hood and not in the middle class suburbs?
Why?
Because they want to exploit the people that's there to be exploited. They know a lot of people in the hood ain't got a bank account. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
They need their check right there to buy what they need, groceries and whatnot. They got to take care of stuff. So they're going to allow these people to take 3%, some places 5% out their paycheck when they can get a bank account, have a direct deposit, or go cash the check at the bank. But because of the environment and the circumstances, these people are left out there to be exploited. I'm not blaming the check cashing spot. They doing what they supposed to do. It's the people in that environment that need to come up, get their mind right, develop some love for self, because that's the first thing that goes with people is they stop loving themselves, develop some love for self, and understand I ain't got to keep giving up this 5% from my check if I just go get a bank account.
Right. So I've learned that the more bad relationships that a woman is in, it chips away at her virtue. She becomes less and less, I guess, valuable in her values. Like it just those bad relationships may chip away from her values, right, and her virtue. What's more important in a society? Having righteous men to choose from, or having more virtuous women to choose from?
Both. They work in tandem. I mean, to have a thriving community, you need both, man. You need both. Period. You can't just say, and this is why I'm an equal opportunist and I get on men too. You can't just be a bunch of men wanting to do whatever they want to do and want to talk about how crappy the women are. And it can't just be vice versa, a bunch of women doing what they want to do, talking about how messed up the men are. Because I'm like, it's not a one-sided thing. Really, everybody is playing their part in this whack dating situation right now, men and women. You know what I'm saying? So,
because you're saying
you need both. Like, that's like saying,
like, if I was sleeping with a righteous man, he's intentional with me regardless.
So what's your point?
My point is, I'm not guessing if he is trying to make me a fun girl or trying to make me some other type of woman, or lying and trying to get my vagina.
But isn't that your job to differentiate from a righteous man and a man that's not righteous? Aren't you supposed to do the vetting on that? As an adult, hold on.
You're right.
And you can't, hold on. Because it's easy to play the women card and say, you know what I mean, as a woman, you know what I mean, men, y'all should be the leaders, but you have responsibility over your life too, right?
You're right.
Don't you take responsibility over your body?
You're right.
So my thing is just simple, man. You know what I mean? We got to be adults about the situation. And that's like, you saying in a relationship, right? Do you need a good man or a good woman? Well, you need both people to be good to have a good outcome, right? You can't have one good person and the other person be a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship that's thriving, in a relationship that works, one person can't be righteous and the other person operating on evil.
With
It's
this
gonna go to
gender
hell.
war, what's funny is that with this gender war that we're currently in, quote unquote war, um, the opposite sex feel like there's not enough righteous men, and the men feel like there's not enough virtuous women to choose from. It's like everybody's a savage, and
The only person that can say that has merit with me is a righteous person. You know what I'm saying? So let me break it down. If you're a person that, just a piece of crap, you're out here doing whatever, to me, I'm talking about me, C Boogie, you can't come to me talking about you want a righteous woman. I'm gonna look at you crazy. The only man I want to hear from is righteous men, and vice versa. A woman that's not righteous can't come to me talking about how crappy men are. Well, you don't deserve a good man anyway. See what I'm saying?
okay.
So that's my thing with that.
So the savages should choose the savages and should stay in their lane.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying with me, you can't come to me just talking about it. I mean, however people get with each other, whatever they do, that's on them. But it's a lot of people that they don't want what they attracting. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
The heart attracts whatever belongs to it. If you got evil inside you, you're going to attract that. If you got righteousness inside you, you're going to attract. I don't care what you're saying out your mouth.
Right.
Your heart is going to attract whatever belongs to it. Period, man. All right, it's pretty late. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. The Nerve of You podcast, man. You know what I mean? We live. Shout out to everybody. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We've been on for quite some time now, but I hope y'all really enjoyed the show, man. I really enjoyed it. It's Tuesday. We'll be right back on Thursday to chop it up, man. And
bye, guys.
Y'all follow me on Instagram at C Boogie Productions. What else I got out there, man? Let me see. I think that's it, man. I don't really have no announcements for the night. I'll have some more announcements on Thursday. But y'all be cool, and we out. Peace.